fresh start, man. You ready?
Dude, I'm ready. Downtown right now, and it's D-Day officially for JR. He just got removed from the Facebook page on the queue. He put in his 2 weeks last week, but obviously they're letting him go today since he no longer has access. So it's been a good run for him to have the #1 night show in Maine at the Q as a college graduate, as a high school graduate, never went to college, learned everything he knows pretty much on the Q, at least from Rob Steele. And I like to think he learned a thing or two from me in other aspects of life, but not radio per se. 3 years, man. You killed it. So I'm just looping around the block, gonna go pick him up because it's not gonna take him too long. What's it gonna be like without JR at the Q? I'm not gonna listen. And not out of spite, but I never really listened before. And then when JR was there, I decided to listen because, you know, it's kind of cool listening to your friend on the radio. It's kind of a trip. But he's a talented guy. Me and him have been working on a lot of music, working on music videos. We're, you know, best friends. We do tons of stuff together, and work-wise too. So it's a new chapter. I'm curious to see what he's gonna have to say when he you know, gets out of the meeting. I guess they're just gonna, you know, change the code to get in, and then I don't know if he has. I don't think he has a badge. Yeah, it's just a code. You know, and then give him his outright release or whatever. At will employment. The guy's, you know, he's getting part-time to be pretty much your most talented asset on the radio. You know, I'm not throwing Rob under the bus because Rob's been there forever, but you know, you got a young guy who's talented. Give him a challenge. Give him a little motivation. You know, give him something to shoot for. And 3 years at the same pay. The guy's making minimum wage. It's kind of an unfortunate situation because I realize companies need to hit the bottom line, but I gotta be honest, y'all are doing the short play. You should be doing the long play. If you're really in that dire of straits that you can't make somebody part-time who's been loyal for 3 years to full-time, then you got bigger problems with your business model. But obviously I don't have any insight into what you're doing, and that's purely from, you know, me just being kind of an outsider here and getting my secondhand info. I support JR, of course, so I'm definitely biased in what I'm saying. And I think I knew maybe 6 months ago to a year ago that he was just gonna get the total screw job here. I wish that it worked out better for him. I felt like he was a good asset. You know, he definitely had a chip on his shoulder, and it was good. You know, I think it motivated him and helped him get better, but he kind of hit his ceiling challenge-wise at the company, and they just didn't give him any more responsibility, and they really didn't value his talent and gave him the runaround on, well, we're gonna get you more. You know, the guy was fighting for like $12 an hour. What is that? You're paying him minimum wage. He could get paid more to work on a shift at McDonald's than at the Q. And that's after 3 years. I'm not talking about intro at radio, because I realize that radio is not a business to be a millionaire in, but it's like at some point, give the guy a living wage, you know? Not just because, but because he brings a lot of value to your company. And I would think you'd want to keep him around, but I don't run the show. I don't know how that goes. Well, at least now we have nights to do our thing, go to the studio, work on music, and finish up this EP and get a show and get on the road with things. But yeah, like within an hour, like today, of being called in to come down and get, you know, what I'm guessing is his release, they took him off, ownership rights to like Facebook and all these pages and Twitter and everything he ran, but they're gonna miss the interactivity. The night show at the Q is going to get a lot worse, and that is just because they don't have somebody who's going to give them such a discount that JR did, such a hometown discount, for being part-time and doing the 7 to 10 slot. #1 show in Maine, #1 show. They don't have that anymore. Other stations I think are going to take over, or they're going to go syndicated here. Other stations will take over their spot regardless in the ratings, but they're going to go syndicated with Pop Crush Nights, which is a produced show. Classic undervaluing your talent and not paying your people. The key to success is keeping good people, is keeping your people happy, keeping your employees, business partners happy. And you focus too much on the advertising, which you need to focus on it. I'm not saying don't focus on it and don't market, but if you're trying to just sell ads for the short term to make your quarterly numbers, and again, I'm totally guessing here that this is what's happening, but I'm making an educated guess because I've been in corporate America for 7 years, and I know how these things go. I've seen plenty of people laid off at once, 20 to 50 to 100 people laid off at once. When I was like a first-year employee out in California at my company, and they're cutting, to save money, to trim the fat, if you will. But, JR said he wanted his 2 weeks because he finally had enough of being paid part-time. Obviously, he wasn't doing full-time work because they wouldn't allow him to do over 29 hours. But I feel like if you had him full-time, it's a place he loves. It's a place he loved to be. And that's why he did it for such low pay, because it was a passion of his, and it still is. So you can look out for maybe a podcast, definitely a lot of music, more music videos, some live shows around town. So this is just the jumping off for JR, and not leaving on bad terms. It's like kind of like with an athlete. It's like, hey, unfortunately, this organization doesn't value my talents as much as maybe another one does, because of financial situation or what have you. But it's very clear that he wasn't getting the kind of feedback and communication as other people were, and so that's why he's being let go. He asked to be let go. So just to be clear, they're letting him go because he asked to, but he thought he had a few more shows left. So, long story long, no more JR on the Q at night. You'll have to go hear him somewhere else.
So, meeting went as I expected. We are officially a wrap with in Q97.9. Kind of a pleasant meeting though. It went well actually.
That's good.
Yeah, it went well.
Seems so short on the phone,
Yeah, was really short on the phone, but I could tell he was kind of bummed out because I don't think he really wanted me to go.
That's good.
But the meeting kind of went like I thought it would go. I go in to meet with, gives me a hug, and he goes, I showed him that screenshot that I had of how they, took me off the Facebook page, which is obviously expected.
Right.
And I go, I know what this is about. He goes, yep, let's just get down to it. And he says, we're going to accept your resignation. We're just not going to do your 7-8 show countdown. So obviously they were on my Twitter and saw that stuff.
Right.
Which, if you put something out for the public, it's going to be seen.
Right.
And he tells me that they're just going to do it effective immediately right now. He doesn't want to burn the bridge. He wants to help me get my next job, which I thought was pretty admirable of him.
It's really nice of him.
Yep. Was pretty cool about it, doing his whole thing. Comes in and chats with me, tells me that I have a little growing up to do, that my highs are real high and my lows are low. And I was like, well, I'm an emotional kind of guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I think that's why I'm creative. So I just took it with a grain of salt for what it was worth. And if you were to tell me like 4 or 5 months ago that this was going to happen, I would have told you that you were crazy, because this is what I've dreamed about doing since I was 15 years old, when I used to record my own pretend shows at my mom's house on the family computer. And I used to,
sick.
yeah, I had the mic up in the, it was all like one unit, I don't know, it was some type.
My first burned CDs were from that computer.
From the Acer, right?
Yep.
It was like 4x speed. It took like 3 hours to burn 10 songs. But yeah, and you know, always looking up to and getting that chance and saying goodbye to him today. And you know, we're still friends. We're gonna keep in touch, and there was no sense burning the bridge completely. I'm looking forward to what's next for us. Whether it's in-state or out-of-state, I don't know yet. But for every single person that's ever listened to me on the Q, and any person that's, you know, ever come to my shows or anything like that, thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without you. And I know that as long as I got Davis Media in my corner,
Sorted.
that we're gonna do some great stuff. And I'm really looking forward to what's next. So yeah, with that said, keep it real.
Keep in touch and let me know how it goes.
Thank you so much for the call today.
All right, man. See ya.
Take care. Onward and upward, right? Holy man. That's so cool.
That was so fast.
Wow.
How long has it been since you left the station? Today.
I left at 3:30. It's 5 o'clock right now.
And you just got like a 20-minute call from some pro.
Yeah. Holy bro. That's so crazy.